All right, I am so sorry. I started my live off muted for the last few, probably about a minute. So I apologize for that. So I'm tired. I've been up since I think 4, 6 this morning. I'm not used to that. Okay, so but I had to get with you guys here. So I was in training earlier today, and I have to give you this. I tell everybody I am not working with the VA, which I am not. No shape, forms, or fashion am I working with the VA. It's a third party anything. I am not an attorney, nor do I work for an attorney. I am a lifetime member with the DAV. One of my claims, I'm currently working with the DAV to help me work through this claim. So I say all this to say I'll be kind of partial to this, but the whole thing is I want you to have facts when you are thinking of how you're going to do your case. All right. Now, this is a little bit on claims, okay? And you need to know this. Have a story. What is your story? And I'm not saying a falsified story. What is your story? Look, when I went through my neuropathy, I had to explain to them. I was in Fort Polk. From Fort Polk, since Desert Shield and Desert Storm was popping off, they figured that the higher chain of command figured that they would send us out to Fort Irwin, Death Valley, Barstow, California, the lowest elevation on this country. All right. Well, they're going to reach 124 degrees or record high here if they didn't already reach it this summer, past a couple of weeks ago. All right, but anyway, so my story's like they sent us out there. They didn't give us any cold weather gear. We were in the jungle for attire. We were stationed out of Fort Polk. What would you expect us to be dressed in? So half of the battalion, from what I understand, went down. And they went down because of the cold weather injuries. And come to find out at that time, they were saying young adults from the age of 19 to 21 or 22, African Americans are more acceptable to cold weather. Right? So instead of them saying this, they played it off as chill bland instead of frostbite. So this boxing went on for years. Okay, so this is what I say when I talk to you about your story. It was minus 24 degrees when we were out there. I've never experienced that before in my life. And then it would get to like 115, 120 in the daytime. This went on for over 6 weeks. It was in our medical records. We kept the records. That's another thing. Diagnosis, okay? Let me get you this here. So the PACT really look at that. You're going to look at your diagnosis. That's going to be important. The diagnosis that you receive from whom, well, they are specialists in that field, and they are looking for particular specialists to attach their names to what you are going through. All right, and if they get that specialist, you want them to go all the way back to your military records. You want to have them say that they were looking, they observed those past records, they were looking at those records and help bring them to their conclusion. All right. Okay, so I'm not going to get totally deep into this tonight because I'm really tired so much. But I'll try to stay up. Okay, so this is what it is. Let me get to this here. Okay, so hmm, let me I want to get this information to you. Okay, so this is my thing. I always tell you guys when I rock, it's what I'm going through and what I am learning. Okay, now dig this. Um, as I got to see and understand a lot of what this is, it's actually what I've been telling you guys a while. So okay, how do you know you have a legitimate claim? How would you know? Ask. That's one way. All right. So if you would ask, you're going to have a condition that you are currently experiencing and that you have been experiencing, and it's probably getting worse. So you're going to need that as evidence. You're going to need medical records to say that if you went to your private doctor, that from the time that they seen you, that they went all the way back and reviewed your medical records. Okay, you're going to need that because if he doesn't, they're going to start from where he started treating you. Now, I understand it's going to affect all your back pay. And what do we talk about in here? I say, hey, it is your health. That's number one. And then we're trying to get your money. And your money comes with the benefits. Okay. So, what do you need? And you need current evidence. All right. Now, I'm going to run you through this real quick. This is for me. Now, this is for me without even thinking about it, without even studying. And if you look at some of my past videos, I'm kind of embarrassed by it, but here it is. If it was me, I'm going through this. Okay. I feel that, and this is not looking at anything, but I'm going to tell you what should be done right. I did it like this. Man, this is going on with me. I've heard this is what's going on, and I've been kind of keeping track of what's going on, but this is what's my problem. So every time I go to the doctor, how are you? My feet, they're really bothering me. And so they took x-rays. They took, what did they do? They took x-rays, and they even took one when I did the MRI. They said, well, your feet, you know, your blood vessels don't look that bad. I said, okay, then why am I feeling like this? So this went on for years. Every time I'd go in, I would say, this is an issue. Okay. Now, if this is an issue, if I never said this is an issue, never documented it down, and I wasn't, and if I wasn't dealing with it, I would not have a case. I'd be totally out of luck. So, coming with what you are feeling, talking with your doctors, those are the paper trail information you need. All right. We're going to get into this. I'm so sorry because I'm very tired today. I really want to stay up and I'm going to get you guys some quality information here. So chronic diseases, and this is what I want you guys to look at too, because I haven't looked it up yet since I've been back. And I want you to start looking up the PACT Act, especially for males and females can get compensated. If you're a male um, and you've been breathing in this stuff and you have caught cancer or you have caught some other medical issues behind this will and has been proven to affect your reproduction system. That's men and women. We did. I heard cases where women were able to get claims accepted due to it was damaging or affected their reproductive system. But men were not getting that. This is what I heard today. And then I heard that men are eligible for that now. All right. So when we talk about those claims, this is what I say. It's kind of boring, but this is what it is. And I'll find a way to liven it up and get you guys there. But so we're looking at this and we're talking about the claims. And we want you to be totally aware of what you are eligible for. Now, dig. And I'll walk you through this. So when I get this paperwork sent to me, now understand, I talked about this before. I think it's 3 or 4 different companies. I'm looking for this as we speak that are hired, contracted by the VA to administer the CMP exams. Okay. So let me tell you this. I walk up in a CMP and I'm just telling you, just being me. Hindsight being 2020, and this is why I'm telling you this. You're always being watched. The doctor knows about you. about your medical conditions before you even come in there. He already knows or she already knows the questions what they are going to ask you before you even get there. So let me tell you this: defend your rights, and do what you got to do without doing fraudulently, and do not start going off on the doctors. That is not going to help you at all. Every time you hear from me, I don't tell you, hey, what's up, Patty J's in the house. Hello, beautiful. Always good to see you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I caught you earlier and I found out you're probably gonna go to bed. You see how tired I am. I am beat like a Persian rug. All right. Okay. So when we talk about, oh good lord, lost my chain of thought there, but I'm getting back on it. So okay. So when you go and do the okay, so this is why I say that you're always being watched, always. Questions that you and we talked about this today, and this is always the thing is, hey, how you doing? And we respond naturally, I'm doing fine. Um, Curve yourself from saying that statement, I'm doing fine. When you're asked by the C&P examiner, hey, how are you doing? Well, today is actually a better day than a lot of days I have. I told him straight, well, how are you doing? I said, well, I'm dealing. From what I understand, having chronic pain or nerve damage to your body is irreversible, and you will have good days and you'll have bad days. And these are facts, really good facts, because there's some days I don't, the pain is on me and it's kicking my ass, and I have, I can't sleep. Okay, so we'll get into that later. So this is what I'm talking about. When you go to CNP exam, how are you doing? All right, and understand, like I say, these guys are hired by the VA to administrate a test for you. Andrea Nash, what's up, beautiful? Thank you for dropping in. I appreciate you so much. Let me give you some little too. Just I appreciate you, lady girl. Thank you for stopping in, and love and respect to you. I appreciate you. Thank you. And yeah, and just tell everybody you know about me, and we can hopefully help them out. I'm here, and I appreciate you coming up. You and Patty J, sweethearts. I love you, ladies. Thank you so much. Okay, so what we're talking about here, if I go to a C&P exam and I'm getting out of the car, you have to know that you're being watched from the time that you get out that car. All right. What's your demeanor and where you are? Okay, and remember, look, and this is not lying. If you're in there and you break down and start crying because of certain things that are being taught to your memory, if you're going for a mental, that's nothing wrong with that. All right. I appreciate you, Andrea, and I appreciate you, sweetheart, and I appreciate you. Let me give you and Patty is here, and whoever else is in here. So, here's my thank yous for you guys, and I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are special. I really do. I had to give you ladies, your prop, you guys and girls, your prop, because you're out here and you're supporting the brother. I appreciate it. Okay, so for me, when I go there, and understand this, once you go to a C&P exam, okay, and I jumped ahead, but we're gonna go back and talk about some paperwork that you need to understand why and what you need to do with that paperwork. Okay, all right, so and we'll talk. I talked about this before, the paperwork that you will need, and we'll talk about it again. No worries about that. Whatever is needed to take. Okay, so once you get to the C&P exam, after you leave there, you should be contacted 4 to 6 weeks for your results. All right, all right. So let's say you get contacted and you get back and they go, no, we're not doing it. It is your job to appeal that. Okay, you get a hold of your representative, but wait a minute. First things first. First, completely read your letter. Don't just let it go to say no, deny a decision. We denying it. Read why, and read what they were looking for in order for you to receive that percentage increase, or even just to get it. So what we're talking about here, you're going to need current diagnosis of what's going on with you, and have that doctor understand he's looking at your records prior to your meeting with him. If he doesn't know your military background, you need to get that to that doctor and have him put it in his records that he's been viewing this, and he will be concurring, or she will, that this is bringing you to the next level here. You dig? All right. So what I'm telling you is not. So I'm not saying nothing about falsifying. I'm saying what you should do and what I've done. I went to a CNP exam, and I told him, look, I just I need some help. I need somebody to talk to me. I need to get some sleep. And she asked me, what would you do without your medication? I said, I don't even want to think like that. That's not something I want to think about. And we talked about that, and they found out why, but it wasn't hostile or anything like that. So this is what I'm saying to you. If you think that you have a case of a service-connected disability, start looking at, do you qualify to deny? Are you currently suffering from, you or having been you have been diagnostic or diagnostic tested, or you have been looked by a specialist and concurs that this issue that you have is currently going on and it stemmed from your the service connected. Okay. And you're going to need current medical records to actually get that through, because you're going to be asking for that. Now let's move into this. We're going to go back a little. When we talk about getting a CNP exam or going, you're trying to get your rate increase. Okay? So if you're going to get a rate increase, I talked about this before. Be very careful, because if you go and try to put in a rate increase and you go to the CNP exam and they go, wow, you know what, your current situation is getting better. Not only you probably will be denied about getting your increase because you thought you were getting worse, because of this one examiner saying that he thinks, or she says they think that you are getting better, you can get your increase cut down. Boom. 60 to 30 in a heartbeat. All right. Now, this is why I say when we talk about claims, it's so many different avenues. And I should have expressed this before I got on here, is that everybody's trail is going to be different. Everybody is going to be different. Only thing we can do, or I could do, is just say, hey, this is my trail, and maybe some of it can help you along with your journey. Okay. But please believe me, and I hope and pray that each and every one of you gets your increase way before I wait to get burned. There are still people I know, 72 years old, 60 something years old, and finally getting 100% increase. And that is because, well, I won't say all of it's because, but one of the main reasons is, if you have been diagnosed with an injury or a cancer or whatever that's terminal, that's not going to get better, they can fight it to help keep you living longer. But if it's terminal, the older you get, the more worse it is, because your body doesn't fight as hard as it was when you were in your 20s. I'm not a doctor, my opinion, okay? So when you're running into that, the thing is, you're going to have to be cognizant about that and be ready to file your claims. All right. And when you get into your 70s, and you may have some claims. And now look, when you get into 70, you may have some claims. And I was going to complete that sentence, but I thought about this. You can have, like I did, I had 30-30 each leg. It was a 70% psychological. According to the VA math, that's not 100%. Now, if you get into the VA math and start listening to that, just go in and check it out. You'll see why it works the way it works. And it's really working to where if you got a hand injured, um, it doesn't take away your whole rest of your body. You can still sit down, stand up, learn to write with the other hand, um, and you can still function. So you will probably get the maximum, maybe 30 or 40% of that hand, depending on what the hands are. I'm saying 30s because that's where the feet go in is at 30s, but the hands are more digital, they work more better, so they might be more. Okay. So be aware of that as well. All right. So what I'm saying is, I said be aware of this as well. I'm so tired. I apologize, but okay. But I want to get this to you. Okay, real quick. Um, your your injuries has to have a story. What is your story? We just talked about that. I said this is my story. This is how it happened, and I stuck to it because that's what's really happening. All right. So when you talk about your story, have it together and just stick to what your story is, and be truthful. Be truthful. Okay, let me see here. I am trying to track down some other notes that we took today. Oh, you know what? I know I want to show you guys this. So I want to talk to you about this. Okay, so on this here, real quick, I got to talk about this, and it's not really a tasty salad. Wally's in the house. What's up, sir? Wally's up in here. Salute to you, my brother. Thank you from us for just stopping in. Real good brother, Wally, out in these YouTube streets. He is. So, if you ever see this brother, stop by his page, give him a holler. Oh, by the way, if anybody in here, and Wally, I got to give you this too. Anybody in here who's a mod, my girl Patty J says she she went back to watch my channel, and it was a porn site, coming up on, how it is, whatever. I gave it a rinse too, Wally. So if you see any monkey heads while you're in here, I know you guys probably got a dip in that, but I appreciate you stopping by. Okay, so back to this. Like I say, Seattle Back Venture, we're always talking about what? We're talking about your health, right? And your money. Without your health, you're not going to be able to spend much of that. But even if you're not with us, it'd be unfortunate to miss you. You got to make sure that your family, if you are entitled for benefits, um, thank you, Brother Wally. If you're entitled for benefits, know what it is and get down on it and get on it real quick. Now, dig. Brother went from 30% to 60%. Now, going to school, he's going to get an extra paycheck for that. His wife should be one part that's in there eligible for it. Go into va.gov, and I want you guys to start looking. Okay. So we talked about this today. Tell your story. You have to tell your story of how it is. Now, I talked about this too with representation. All right. Now, 100% disclosure. I am a lifetime member of the Department of the DAV, pardon me, no veterans, with the DAV. And my mission is to help you discover if you have a case or not. And you will have to make that decision off of, the information that you collect. Now, if you rap to me and you hit me up in my email, I can forward you to some people who are more knowledgeable than I am, and they will help you get to that decision. That's if you're in Washington State. If you're in any other state, this is what I want you to do. You don't have to do it at all. I would like for you to do is seek representation. Now, free representation of the AV, the Veterans Foreign Wars, and there's a lot other support that you can get out there. Okay, now I'm gonna get into homeless in a minute, but we're talking about the support is getting your claim across. Now, you can get an attorney. I go. It's up to you. You really have to make that decision. Okay, but now I understand this. If you get an attorney and you're deciding that you're not liking that attorney, and then you turn to the VFW or the DAV or any volunteer organization, and they help you more than that attorney, if you signed a contract with that attorney and he doesn't do any of the work, but the volunteer organization does the work, that attorney is still getting a percentage of your money because that's where you started it with. Okay. So if you're going to start with an attorney, I would say for me, if it was me, I have to have word of mouth, or I'm looking up a person in the book and I'm looking at their ratings of how they their clients treat them. I'm going to Yelp with them and see who's who, if that is the case. All right. Because if you're messing around with, with a representative that's going to really mess with your time, and I don't think a lot who are out there, or especially the volunteers, they're going to get on it and they're going to talk to you about it. Now, know about your case. Thank you, Wally. Appreciate you, brother. Know about your case. Do your research. When you get, now I'm going to show you this. I'm going to just show you this, hopefully briefly here. I'll cover this up here. But when you get a letter that comes to you from the VA, respond. This is a decision letter. And that decision letter, they said, we are not in agreement with you getting your SMC, special monthly compensation. We'll talk about that another time. Okay. But I just want to let you know, this is what I am doing. I'm 59 coming up here. And this is what I'm still doing. I know people older than I am are still fighting to get what they are entitled to. So this is why I really want you to pay attention to what you're looking for. Now, dig this too. If you are suffering a mental illness because of the military, regardless of your discharge, you can receive mental health help. Mental health help. You are entitled to receive that. Now, compensation you will not get. You will not get any money if you left out on it. Now, we talked about this before. Depending on what your discharge is, look at line 26. When I was in, it was called a separation code. I think it was called something else, but I think it's a separation code now. Look at line 26 and see what that separation code is and look it up. All right. Now, because if you had a dishonorable discharge of a separation code because of something that that you mentally could not control, this is my thinking, okay? Nobody else. You are eligible to receive help. Anybody out there, if you're suffering from PTSD, go start receiving help. You can get it medical. All right. So I just gotta let you guys know that we talk about this all the time. Let me see here. Let me see. Okay. We're gonna talk about combined ratings and how that rocked. Combined ratings, what I mean by that is like I said, I have a 60% for both my legs at 30-30, then I have a 70. So that combined rating added up to 90%. You got it? Okay. And this is why don't be afraid of this. People complain about it a lot, but you will really take a lot of stress off of your brain when you start checking it out and see why they do the math the way they do. I understand it. I understand, but I wish I'm going to try to understand it more so I can explain it to you. Okay. So, and that's my fault, but I understand why it is. And please believe me, I was at 90%. And the statement is the higher percentage rate you get, the harder it's going to be for you to get to 100%. That depends. I had 90% when I was at 100% a year later. Okay. I can explain it to you later on, but it's just too much. But yeah, and so that's why I say, and some people got 100% in 2 years, right? So I'm saying, keep fighting. You're gonna get there, and right now is a good time for you to keep fighting because now we are open up from COVID. And we are able to move around a little bit more. Okay, but we want you to be aware that PTSD, and like I said, your diagnosis, what are your current diagnosis? That is very important. Your current diagnosis is important. And then if you have that current diagnosis, your physicians, they have to be qualified. that you want them to look back into your previous records, and you want them to help tie that into your current, what's is going on with you right now. And that's the evidence you're going to need too, is a current medical physician who is saying this, who specializes in that department. And if you're experiencing this diagnosis right now, and what are your side effects? This is what we're talking about for the diagnosis. Is your side effects and what's currently going on with you, okay? Mental disorder, you're going to need that as well. You're going to have to go into some clinics. And I would say, look, this is the thing when it comes to homeless. I was asked, why do you think it is? I'd say it's because of mental. Majority is because of mental. And then because it could be drugs. Okay, and it's real talk. All right, now, I was talking with a wonderful lady today. She said she was helping out a friend, our friend's friend, and that person was on the streets. They took him in, got him showered up, fed him a meal. 3 days later, come back, the person's back took off and went back to the streets. Mental, right? I don't know if they felt comfortable there or what, but that's what they, I guess, knew, and went back to the streets. I mentioned shelters, and I understand why, because some are mentally, some of them are having drug issues, alcoholic issues, and if they can stay on the street and don't have to be regulated or chastised behind them having what they perceive that they like, you know, it's overindulgence itself that doesn't get you back functional. I understand. I understand. I'm not knocking it either way. What I'm saying is this how it is. Okay. This is how it is. How do we change it? That's a great question. And the VA is working at that. I'm going to actually hopefully fly down, and I want to see that VA home that they got set up. They were offering some acreage to get a place set up where they could have medical, all the needs that they need to be attending is right there. Okay. Now, I would say this, and this is real talk. I don't care how much help is out there for you or me. What I care about is, are you and me trying to get ourselves in a better situation, whether it's mental or physical, and now chemically, you're gonna have to fight. And I would say, if you want to take a page out of something, let's look at Flint, Michigan. Let's see how they rock with that. Let's see what the VA is going to do. Are they going to follow that pamphlet? Or, and the government always is going trying to push themselves to a higher level because that's what they want to say. We don't settle for standards or low. So the question is, now I'm telling you, if you are going through any of these chemical injuries, and know this about Camp Lejeune. Now, you'll see a lot of commercials. I have to say this real quick, and please forgive me. You'll see a lot of commercials talking about if you've been in this camp and you suffer from water damage, please contact us at such and such and such. These are attorneys. I ain't mad at them. They're looking to get their money. All right. Now, understand this. And this is what I heard today, and you guys, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to get me corrected on this, okay? If you are a dependent, or if you are, dependent, and what happened to your dad affects you, you are entitled to medical care, physically and medically. So medicine, no money. You get help. You will get help. Now, this is what I say, and this is kind of funky. And I know I'm talking prematurely, but it's been rolling around in my head like a marble in a can. And that is, okay, you're going to take care of me at the hospital and take care of my medical. But what do you do? What do you think this is doing to my life? What about my pain and suffering? Right? Right now, it's too early for that. I might get taken out talking about that. All right. So, but that's the thing, though. You need to be looking at it. Know this. Camp Lejeune, if you have the water problems, we talked about this before, and that was, the dry cleaners that was off post. Apparently, what I was listening on one of these videos I snatched up, and I'm in my bubble because I got to cross reference any videos I pull up, unless it's actually the news. Um, Even though I watched that too. But anyway, I want you to be aware that if you're going to file a claim, dig this too. We didn't go here. We're going to go all the way back from the beginning. When you actually say you want to file a claim, you're going to file what they call an ITF, or intent to file. Okay? And that intent to file, ITF, they will send you paperwork. Now, I don't have that paperwork in front of me. I showed you guys this last time, but I want you to know this. And I say this. Anytime the VA sends you paperwork, you need to respond, whether it's via phone or whether it's via attorney signing out some slips or some paperwork and sending it back. But check with them. If you're unclear, check with a representative and say, this is what's been sent to me by the VA, and have him, because he should have got it too if he's a representative. But check with him anyway. And just let them know you're on page with what's going on and you want to know what's going on. And they should explain it to you. All right, so cool. Now that you put your paperwork back in, from the time that you file the intent to file is the time that you're going to get kicked in. Okay, so but you have to do this in 12 months. Okay, within 12 months. All right, you have to get all this stuff going. So that's one of the things I want to get you on breast with, or on point with. And I'm going to let you guys go because I got some studying to do, and I really want to get some studying to do because I really want to give you guys some good answers to some of your questions. And please drop me some questions, comments, hit the like, subscribe. We're going to start getting more deep in this. And I have to give you, what do they call it? Full disclosure. I'm going to be giving you information, and this is information that I have received through the DAV and through my personal life working with the DAV. DAV has actually been my people who's been handling my claims for a long time. It's been a rocky road. I'm not going to say it's been smooth. It's been a rocky road. And partially it's because I didn't understand how things should go and how they should be processed. I have a good idea, but I'm not totally abreast of the lingo, should we say. But it's more than that. And it's really understanding what needs to happen. Good night, Patty J. You don't have an email scrolling. Okay, let me thank you, dear artist, for that bad boy up here. I was trying to be cool with that's so cool here. I put up banners too much and they blocked my face here. Let me see if I show you this one here. So yeah, I had the camera lower last time, so yeah, it was blocking my face here. So I'm gonna take it off anyway. But that's my email at the bottom, and it's vet, not veteran. It's the Seattle Black Vet. Yeah, hit me up there. Oh, the goddamn bacon! I gotta get back a hold of you, my brother, and we gotta get together. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Patty J, for hanging out for a little bit here. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm tired as all get out, but we're gonna make this work. So, like we said, and I'm trying to stay close to the point so I can get you in and out of here. Okay, so we talked about the PACT Act. Please, 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 please look into that. I was wrong when I said you need a lawyer. If you are a veteran and you have been affected by that, you should be able to go to the VA and get your representative to file a claim through the VA. Now, I always say this. I never recommend that you go straight to the VA and start doing your own paperwork unless you are very, very knowledgeable about 38 of the CFR, Title 38 of the CFR. Unless you're very, very knowledgeable about it, I would be cautious. And I would tell you, a lot of things that I tell you guys, I've tried it one time, and I tried it, and I'm still dealing with this crap almost 2 years, going on 2 years now. This because they're messing with my SMC, so I got a box with that. And that's another thing we say here too. Also, is if you're at 100%, you don't need to follow anything else. All your medical stuff is taken care of at the VA at 100%. If you start poking the bear, you can run into the fact that you may not uh, get your claim, and you may get your claim, your current rating reduced. Okay, so here's another one. They were talking about the 10-year and the 20-year act on this. Now, I'm gonna give you off the top of my head because recently I dealt with the over 10 years. I've had a neuropathy for my feet, suffering with them bad boys at 10%, all the way until about 2008, right? And I started at 89. So I was at 20, and then they raised it to 30. Since I didn't have the 30 that long, they're trying to come and take the 30 away. They cannot reduce the 20. They could reduce it to 30. They wanted to try to reduce me to 10%, but I was at 10% for so goddamn long, and at 20% for so goddamn long. The lowest they can do is lower me to 20. And I'm still fighting for that. All right. Now, dig this caveat. I'm fighting for this SMC, which is a special monthly compensation. Now, say I don't get it right now. My conditions are not going to get better as I get older. I will get arthritis faster because of this condition. So that means I will have to reapply for it if I don't get it now, but we're appealing it. We will be discussing this with you. What's today? Wednesday. We'll be discussing with you hopefully maybe Friday. I was going to work up tomorrow, but Friday tomorrow. But I want you guys and girls out here. I know the channel is all about just talking to you, but it's talking with you to get your rightful benefits. Let me tell you out here, they're trying to cut off veterans big time out here. And what I mean by that is they're not trying to have no more veterans. They're trying to chop that down big time. They're not trying to pay this money out, but they owe these veterans, owe us veterans. So, all right, now let me get with this too. All right. I need for, if we are dealing with veterans who are suffering from mental health, and we have a lot of that going on, unfortunately, still to this day. And I will tell you how the hand it is. I think they stated about 25 veterans a month will take their own lives. And so my thing is, I'm always thinking more like it's mental health. And I will have to say this too, and I'm going to let you guys bounce and do your thing here. When it comes to dealing with veterans, my thing is this. I want to tell you everything that I know that's not going to get me in trouble. But it's right. Everything I tell you, it's not fraudulent or anything like that. But I'd rather teach you how to fish than just give you a handout. When you see brothers and sisters, whether they are not, which most of them are not, in front of the store panhandling, this is what happens. And I showed a video on this not too long ago, where a veteran had his dog and him in the middle of an island, in the middle of a busy street. The police came to get him off of there. A confrontation started. The dog got scared, took off. The police officer tasered the dog. The dog freaked out, ran on the street, and got hit by a car. All right. So my thing is this, and we see this a lot in Washington State. People with their babies, their kids, standing at the end of an off-ramp or a busy street panhandling. I'm empathy to that, but what are you doing to those kids? They should not be out there. If a car jumps the curve, or forget it, the pollution, noise, and the smell that's hitting their lungs. I understand, but they shouldn't be in that position to where you're using them for empathy. Okay? When I see veterans out here and they are asking me for a handout, I first start talking to them and say, "You're a veteran? Really? What branch? What percentage are you?" Because I'm gonna start from there. And most of them are lying; they don't know their percentage or anything. And if you say to me you're 50% and you're out here panhandling, you're out here just taking advantage of people. There's way a lot of programs out there for a person at 50%, 60% that you can be involved in. And if you're out there panhandling, you're just looking for an easy way. That's just my take. Okay, you don't have to follow my take on it, but that's my take on it. You should not be out here in the middle of the street and jeopardizing. This guy's dog was a safety. It was a dog that was supposed to be helping him, and the dog got hit by a car, so now he has another dog. But the reason why, and he has a car, and he's a disabled veteran. But the reason why he was out there is because he had made friends out there, and he knew that he can get that smile on top of getting some extra bucks on that particular uh, in street. So that's what I'm saying. Hey, don't jeopardize your loved ones for that and put them out there to get that increase. And I say this, and I will say this honestly, because I talk to people. This is being a veteran is designed to keep you above at middle class or above. Now we suffer from the mental health, and then we put ourselves in other positions, but we have to be cautious of that. All right, so just be cool with that. All right, now another thing I want to show you guys is this, and this is why I say this. I talk to people all the time, and I just say this: when I'm here, what do I talk about? I talk about your health and your money. All right. We need you to be healthy and getting your money and your benefits. You feel me? Your money and your benefits. So when I tell you this, the Seattle Black Veteran will say this. When you come to my channel, I don't have nobody bringing smoke on you with this channel here. They don't like it. They can keep it moving. I'm cool with that. Um, if you got an issue, we can talk about it, and we can see if we can get you help. You don't have to say, this is all your 411. I'm not looking for that. We're looking for, if you have an issue, how we can get you help. Okay. If you're not sure how to find a person that's going to help you fight, come on over here. Let's talk. And you have to make that decision. Though the bottom line is your decision. Okay, when you're signing paperwork, you have a right to ask, what's going on with this? What does it mean? You're going to get some crucial paperwork that tells you certain things. So you have to be aware of these things. And the only way you can be aware is you talk about it with people who you are veterans with you, or you're out there seeking your answers. In order for you to, what did they say, knock and the door shall be open, it may not open the first time. Wrong steps I've been took. It's been crazy. So the thing is always keep fighting though, And let me see. Let me see. I got some more. Next time I come on, I'm gonna give you guys some numbers. But I don't know if you're in Washington State. I'm gonna give you some numbers. Also, what we want to look at as well. Some major hospitals for the VA are out of your reach. Okay. Now, I'm going to check with this. Thinks it's COVID lighting up. I'm going to see what the VA has to say over here. And what I'm talking about is travel vouchers. All right. So if you have to travel to see your doctor and you have to travel, I think it's 30 miles. Hey, maybe it's less than that. Getting compensated for that. Now, I know it's hard in some cases, but I'm gonna talk with some people, and matter of fact, I think I'm gonna do some blood draw tomorrow. If I don't do it this week, I promise you by Monday, I'm gonna do that because I had to talk to my representative about filing a appeal. So I got to talk with my dudes about that. I got to do appeal for Social Security disability insurance. I mean, I got shot down all the way. And so we're doing that. And at the same time, while we got this information, we want to keep it coming to you. At the same time, like I said, I got to file 2 appeals. I have to go and read all my paperwork from front to back. And that's what I encourage you to do. If you file and you got denied, read why, read it past the denied, read the whole thing. It will tell you why. And you can talk with your representative about that issue, which I got to do tomorrow. They hit me up Friday, but I'm on these medications that knock me out, so I'm late, like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and most of the time they close. So I'm going to get up early again tomorrow. But I want you guys to hit me with your questions because that's what's going to help keep me answering and helping you guys. I know everybody's talking about claims. I talk about more than claims on my page. I talk about everything that has to do with military, whether you're civilian, dealing with military, I guess retired, active duty, disability. This is for us all because I know cats who have retired, but they couldn't if they wanted to go back in because they had a heart condition. I talked to you about this. Was unaware. 15 years later, 20 years later, I said, hey, you know what? You should be filing for that. Now that person's at 100%. Right? So understand, just because even if you get 90%, it may be hard, but it's not impossible. I did it. Okay. And of course, when you get a decision letter, read the whole thing. There is certain wordage in there that you do not have to worry about going to be reevaluated. They're saying that this is permanent and you're done with it. This is it. Okay. So those certain words too, and individual unemployable, but individual unemployable, we talked about that. Individual unemployable, you can get that if you're 30, 60, but that means you really can't work. You really can't do a lot of things. So you have to be aware of that, okay? Because when you do an IU, individual unemployable, it will limit you. But look at here. If you are suffering severe mental issue problems and you're probably at 60%, an IU will help you and your wife and your family because of the money that comes in and the benefits that you will get medically, all right? Even dental, okay? All right, so now dig. Like I always tell you guys, what's up with your money? Do not be embarrassed about saving your money, doing what you got to do. And like I say, let's shop at the commissary. Let's do what you got to do. We're going to talk later about combined ratings of different parts of your body coming together. We already talked a little bit about that. I had different parts of mine coming together, and there was a rating of 70 and 60, 30, 30, 30, 30, 70, and 10%. And it came out to 90%. You dig? So don't be afraid to get in there and check out what your ratings are and combined ratings. Start talking to people. If you are a member of a DAV, you will get some good information and conversation. All right. So, and I would say that the same with other places too. I haven't been there, but that's okay. I still think that you will get some information. Okay, and so also we're going to be talking about this as well. And I know it's not a really favorite subject, but we're going to be talking about death certificates as well. All right. Now, this is what I ran into with some people out there that were bugging. If you have a wife or if you have a husband, husbands can lead the family. Okay, no problem. But you have to let the wife know what's going on. If you don't trust her, you don't trust her. That I don't know. But my thing is this: if I end up passing away, my wife, if she is not aware of what she can do, then I can get buried at no cost to her. Where I want to get buried is what she needs to know. What benefits come to her if I happen to pass away because of my service-connected illnesses. She needs to know that, or he needs to know that. And I hope they need to know it just because you're both looking out for each other's health and well being. Okay? So that is important when you are with your wife a year. After a year, she can be added on as as receiving compensation if you happen to pass away from service-connected disabilities. Okay, so know that. All right, this is important. I'm telling you. I'm 59. I'm not saying I'm gonna go, but I'm on the other side now. I got maybe 30 years, 40 years, to be real. So what, 90 years old? Black man, I don't know if we live that long. But if we do, I'm happy for it. But if not, you need to be prepared and you need to understand why I'm giving you this information here. Look, having yourself and getting your burial plot together, you can, if you're 100%, you can go and get another life insurance, which is like another 10 grand. I think a 10 or 50 grand, but I go 10 grand just to be on the safe side. And you're going to get a lot of offers, to taking care of your family if something would happen to you. So, and this is another thing we need to talk about too. We're going to talk about is feasible to get loans off of your life insurance. I know people are like, what the hell? But no, look here. Like I said, we're talking about your money and we're talking about your health. All right. We're always talking about your health. To me, that's what's important. And so, like I say, we will let me see, encounter some things, but we're gonna get you past it. And if you are really interested in knowing whether you have an issue that you need to file, hit me up. Let's talk about it. We'll be discreet about your information. Like I said, I try not to mention people's names or whatever. We just talk about the situations because the situations is what we need to know. We need to know how we can navigate through them and get out of them successfully. You dig? So this is the whole reason for the page here, is to make sure you guys know everything that I can give to you. All right. Now, I have to put this out here because I said this before. Everything I'm giving you is free. I don't care about that. I care about you being successful. I care about you coming back to me and telling me that you were able to get it done. All right. Now, at a later point in time, if people want to start paying me for my time, because time is valuable. I've had some people ask me for my time and they did absolutely nothing with it. And it was like 2 hours burned. And I have a lot of stuff to do. But if you mention something here, you don't have to worry about, paying for no time. You mention it here and we'll talk about it. And it's all going to be free. All right. That's if you want to. Right now, you want to grab me because, look, I'm not trying to charge anybody nothing. I'm always going to be a small YouTuber. I like it. My thing is I like getting you guys the information, and that's what's cool. Okay, so let's get back into this. When you put in your attentive file, you're going to get some forms back, and I showed you guys that on another one. Now, you're going to have to sign those, and those are going to be opening up. One of them is going to say that you are authorizing them to access to your medical records and everything that's needed. Okay. The DAV does it pretty smart, like you do. You go and put it in there, and you do go do this. See if you can download the PDF of Chapter 38, the CFR. This chapter, it has the title 38 in front, and it's CFR, Code of Federal Regulations, CFR. And then put PDF and see if you can download that. Okay, I got it already, but you may be able to get it for free on there. All right, but if you do, the next step, look at a search engine and type in what you are looking for. Shoulder injuries, neuropathy in your feet, a cold weather injury. And see if it pops up and start reading what the wording is, okay? The wording's important, and you have to really pay attention to the wording with some of these things they put in, pardon me. And that's important because if you're not paying attention to the wording, you're going to misstep and you're going to probably fall out. But you don't have to be knowing all that. if you're curious and you think that you got an issue and you're really serious about it, curious and serious, get a hold of a representative, sit them down, talk to them, ask them, "Hey, this is do I have enough to file a claim?" And what do we say? Your diagnosis is have to be there. Currently, you have a doctor that can link all your current diagnosis with your military, and I think you got a good case to move forward. So you got to do it. All right. And this is the thing, though. This is what I love about this, and I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. Still, the two people here, is that I'm always going to come off like this, but I don't know how to bring the flair and all that. But I want to. I know how to bring all the information to you. So we'll continue to talk about this. And like I said, I am not a representative for any organization. I am doing this on my own. I am just giving you information from what I have experienced or what I have seen, experienced, or know people who tell me. And these are current events. Okay, these are not something like from way back. I can bring you some stuff like way back, but like I said, I need you to start fighting now. Don't wait until you get my age or whatever, because if you don't have the paperwork to support your claim, and this can go also, I'm gonna tell you this. When they ask me, about my childhood, I think it's irrelevant. It's not, unless it's something that the Army ambassador made it worse. But I'll be cautious about telling people all about your childhood. If you're suffering from mental problems right now and you tell them all about how your mother was this, and that, and that, and this, unless the military made it worse, now you got to go through some other hoops. But leave it with the military. I think that's far enough. To me, I look at it like taxes. After 3 years, and even for people collecting, after 7 years, I don't know what you're talking about. So let's keep it current and handle what we got to handle here. All right. So I am the Seattle Black veteran. I came in the rap with you for a minute. I think, dang, this is just an hour. I'm telling you, I get old. It feels like I've been doing this for like 2 hours now, and it hasn't been. Okay, so let's just recap before I get off. I say I'm going to leave, and this is recap. We're talking about your claims. We're talking about how you, when you first start your intent to file. Intent to file, I would suggest that you get a representative to help you file through that. Okay, so an attempt to file is your first paperwork that will go to the VA. The VA will send you back. I think it's 2 or 3 forms. I have them, and I don't I know what they are, and they're in my thing, but I just can't remember off the top of my head. But you'll get these forms, and they'll be asking you a lot of things about your work and everything. Look at the form. God bless you. I'm gonna have to pull this form up because I don't want you guys going out here without a proper representation for the form. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. God dang it. Yeah. Okay, so, but anyway, it's 3 forms, and I'll find those forms. I do apologize. But you'll have to fill those out. I think it's a 21 50. Is it the 53, 56, 52, 6? Let's see here. Let's see here. That is nothing that I need to fill out here. Okay, so I'll get those to you. I apologize. But there's a couple of forms. Once you fill out those forms and send those forms back in, then you have filed. Okay? The first is an intent to file. And then once you send the paperwork in, you have filed a claim. Now, they will start the case from the time that you put an intent to file in. That's when if you need any back pay, it will start from the time that you put the intent to file in. Okay, so be aware of that. So once you put that in, intent to file, you're gonna get paperwork. After the paperwork comes in and they send it in, what's the next step? C&P exam, right? Claims and pension exam. All right. So now this is the thing I want you to know too with the C&P exam is you can get you a certified doctor. And if they try to send you, like they try to do send me out of county to do a C&P exam, No. I called them back and said, I can't do that. And you need to send me something closer. And they did. They sent me another thing closer here. Okay. All right. Let me see. I think this form here, statement of support form, and that's going to be, and I want you guys to stay on top of this, 21 4138. And the reason why I want you guys to stay on top of this is because look at the bottom of the form and make sure the form is current. I think I had some forms that were let me see, they were dealt in 2017. So now they have new forms out, and they're going to be asking pretty much the same questions, but they're going to be in a different format. Be prepared. But I always say this too: if you have never been to a CNP exam, start keeping tracks of your paperwork. Scan it, put it in your computer somewhere or external hard drive, because I promise you that that probably will not be your last CNP exam. You hear me? So when you get another CNP exam and you file another claim, you're gonna have that paperwork ready to roll. Only thing's going to change is the time, the date on the format. There, it's going to change. All right, loved ones. Love you guys very much. I'm the Seattle Black Veteran. I wish you so much. I wish you the best of life. I want you to do me one favor. Look in the mirror. Look at that person in the mirror and tell that person that you love them and that person's special. All right. I want you to always know that. I wish you nothing but the best. I am the Seattle Black Veteran, and I am wrapping it up for me. Babbling on. Have a good night, everyone. I'm the Seattle Black Veteran. I wish you nothing but the best.